to start in sitting. You can sit on a cushion to lift your spine. Tuck the left leg in and the right leg, then you're going to bend the knee if you can and just place it against the left foot. So you can hug that right in or leave it out, whatever's most comfortable. Okay, and then from here we're just going to connect a few movements with the breath. So you're going to inhale, reach the arm up. And then exhale, side bend. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then this time step the right foot outside the left knee. Okay, so you're going to lengthen up. And then you're going to inhale, reach the arm up. And then exhale, twist. Inhale, turn slightly back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then bring the hands down and we're going to swap legs. So you can either just swap any other way or just bring your hands down to the left and twist. And then your legs should be in the opposite position. Okay, so basically the right foot's tucked in, the left foot is bent up. Okay, so we're going to begin with our twist this time. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. Last one, inhale. Exhale. And then back to center, and you're going to bring that left foot to the left knee to the right foot. And then we're going to come into a side bend here. So you're reaching the right arm up, inhale. Exhale, twist. Or side bend even. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And just hold it there for an extra breath. So inhale here. Feeling into your belly and your side ribs. And back to center. Okay, and then you can remove your cushion. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So here, spread your fingers nice and wide. Okay, so your shoulders are over your wrists. Your hips are over your knees. And we're going to inhale, exhale, cat-cow. So inhale, arch the back and look up. Exhale, round the back and look back. I'll show it to you from the side. So inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So you want to feel the movement from the crown of your head all the way into your pelvis. So we're just loosening out, warming up the spine. Getting a bit of fluid into the spine in the morning. And now we're going to bring in the hips and the shoulders. So you're going to keep doing your cat-cow, but you're also adding in a bit of rotation through the pelvis. And just really stretch it out any odd way. You don't have to follow knee, just do what feels right, just to loosen out through the spine, through the hips, get the shoulders warmed up. So, and then you can come all the way into an upstretch, press back into child's pose. Big breath in here. Let's do 3 breaths into your side ribs. So breathe into your side ribs and breathe out. Big breath in and out. Big breath in again and out. And then we'll come forwards into our upward arch back, whatever you want to call it. Nice bend through the lower back. And press back into child's pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. So trying to stay with your breath as much as possible. Exhale. And then let's come onto our hands and knees again. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Shoulders just above the wrists, hips above the knees. And then we're going to send the right leg back. Okay, try not to let the lower back sag, so ribs stay tucked in, shoulders down and back, and then lift the left arm. And then we're just going to keep the head, so keep your eyes looking slightly down so you're not arching the neck, back of the neck's nice and long. And we're just going to breathe here for another 3 breaths, so focus on your breath. And lower down. And then this time we're lifting the left leg, keeping the pelvis steady, keeping the toes pointed towards the mat. Right arm lifts, back of the neck's long, shoulders are down and back, ribs tucked in. Try and point your toes towards the ground, don't twist through the hip, lift through the pelvis, everything's nice and stable in the spine. Big breaths in and out. Keep that focus on the breath. We'll just do 2 more on each side. Imagine that you're trying to lengthen from your left fingertip to your right heel. So keeping everything nice and long. Ribs lifting. Back of the neck long. And swap sides. One more time. Left hand lifts, right leg lifts, pelvis level, ribs in, back of the neck long, and then focus on your breath. Once you're set up, just keep the awareness to your breathing. And then swap sides. Ribs lifted. And then lower down. Okay. And then from here we're going to tuck the toes under. And we're going to lift your hips really nice and high into downward dog. So keep your knees bent. Lift the hips nice and high. So you have a nice line going from your wrist through your shoulders to your hips. This allows the spine to be nice and long. And then you can focus on lowering the heels. And you only lower as much as you can keep that nice shape through your spine. Okay, so let's just ground down through the heels, ground down through the wrists, push through your wrists so your shoulders are pressing backwards. Let the back of your neck feel nice and long and relaxed. Okay, so big breaths in here. Keep pressing through the hands. So don't hang through your joints. You want to make this as active as possible. So your legs are switched on, your arms are switched on, but your spine is free and long. Two more breaths. Then bend your knees and bring your shoulders over your wrists. Extend out into plank. Breath here. Bend your knees. Lift your hips back to downward dog. And then bend the knees, shoulders over the wrists, straighten through the knees. Plank. And bend. Lift the hips, downward dog. Back into plank. Then come all the way down onto the knees, bend the elbows all the way onto the mat, toes pointing backwards. Let's arch through the back. Lower down, bring the forearms onto the mat, and then just extend up halfway. Take your hands behind your back, point your fingertips towards your heels, arch and lift. And let's hold here for 5 breaths. So focus on that breath. Keep the fingertips lifted, shoulders down and back, chin tucked in. You should feel a lengthening out of the spine rather than a compression in the lower back. So you're not just lifting straight up through here, you're lengthening out of the spine. So someone's got your head, they're pulling your head out of your pelvis. Bring the hands back onto the mat. Come up onto that downward dog position again. And we're just going to roll through a downward dog. So it's like a little train. So we're bending the knees, shoulders over the wrists, hips up and back. Rolling through that downward dog, getting some movement in through the spine. Warming up the hips and the wrists. Really nice for loosening out the spine. You might hear my hips clunking away. And then we're going to go in the opposite direction, so the shoulders move forwards. First you bend through the knees and then you lift back up. Rolling through the hips. Rolling through the spine. Really nice. Getting everything warmed up. And then bring your feet forwards. Let's fold forwards, hanging onto your elbows. Let the head relax down. Breathe in, fill up the lungs. You can bend your knees as much as you need to bring your torso onto your thigh here. And then let it curl all the way up into standing. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back to heart center. Okay, so let's do some movements. We're trying to increase the energy in the body, lifting through the feet. Okay, so we're going to try and lift one leg up, and we're going to bring our hands into it. So we're bringing the hands, imagine that we've got a little ball here, and then we're pressing away through the hands and the foot. Okay, losing the balance there. And then we're going to turn and back. Good. And then scooping that ball back up. Relax the foot down. Left foot this time. Reach all the way up. Foot goes all the way out in front. Turn your palms. Bringing the hands into it. Don't be afraid to bring all that movement in. Moves the energy around, the lymph around. Exhale. Turn the palms, turn the foot, press away. Nice and long. Scoop up. And swap sides. Really nice. Breathing in. Straighten that leg right out behind you. Breathing in. Press away. Just like a little dance. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend that right knee if you need. Nice. Okay, nice wide stance. Okay, and we're going to keep it similar vein, but we're keeping both feet down this time. So we're going to scoop up. Exhale, push away. Inhale. Straighten through the legs. Exhale, bend deep. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now let's shift the weight over onto the left. Straighten out through that right leg. Exhale the other side. Inhale. So let's move through those hips. Really open up and release all that tension. You can pull your toes back if you can get that left knee straight. Just transferring the weight side to side, keeping the hips low so you're getting a nice stretch into them only if it's comfortable. If it's not comfortable, you can keep your hand here and just move from side to side. Try and keep bringing the shoulders into it, spine into it. You can. So left knee bends, lean forward over the left knee, then bend into the right and come back up. And now let's swap sides. And then walk the feet in. Okay, and then from here, curl all the way down. I'm going to walk the hands forward. And step the foot back. And you can bend through your knees, bend through your elbows, and bring yourself all the way down, arching back and up. Good. And then press the hips back. Step the right foot forwards. Okay, so here you have two options. You're going to keep the knee down, the left knee down, or the left knee lifts. Okay, up to you. I'm going to lift up with the arms. Okay, but whatever's most comfortable. So knee up, knee down. Raise up through the arms. So show you from the side. You want that pelvis tucked under, okay? So try not to be super banana shaped like I want to be, okay? That front leg, you're trying to get that parallel to the ground. Back knee lifts. So you're feeling a nice stretch here through your left hip. Reaching up through the arms, turn the palms inwards. Shoulders locked down and back. Ribs back. Keep looking straight ahead. Tuck that back of the chin in. So the back of the neck is nice and long. Bend that right knee so it's directly over that front heel. Big breath in. And then we're going to come into a twist. So right arm back, left hand forwards. Turn to look over the left fingertips. If it's comfortable, you can turn and head and look at the right fingertips. Lift your right ear away from your right shoulder so you're not creaking through the neck. Really strong pose if you've got the left knee lifted. And then windmill the hands down. Step the right foot back. Bend through the knees, or keep the knees lifted if you've got the strength, and bend just through the elbows. Belly onto the mat, toes point back. Arch just as far as here, or straighten the arms. Big breath here. Press back through your child's pose. And then this time left foot forwards. Either keep the right knee down or lift the right heel. Left knee is directly above the heel before you lift. Check your activity in your foot as well so you're not collapsing and rolling in on that left foot. Put weight on the little toe side of your foot and the ball of the right foot. Raise up through those hands. Keep the ribs back. Pelvis sinks down. Right knee lifts. Press, stretch the mat apart with your feet. Big breath in and out. Let's bring in that twist. So right arm forwards, left hand back. Look to the front fingertips and then look to the back. Keep the left ear lifted. Bend that left knee a little further. Windmill hands down. Step the left foot back. Bend the knees. Press back into child pose. Bring the hips forwards. Lower the pelvis. Arch and stretch back. Tuck the toes under. And then we're going to lift from here, either back through child's pose or straight up into downward dog. Okay, press through your arms, rotate your upper arms inwards, allow your head to hang down. Keep the hips lifted as much as you need to, the knees, heels lifted as much as you need to get that length through the spine. Feel the breath all the way into the belly. The belly should feel nice and soft, so no hardness in the belly that's unnecessary here. And now let's walk the feet all the way forwards. And then inhale halfway, so you're not lifting up out here. You've got a nice flat spine. You might need to bend your knees to get there. Depends, or bring your hands here. Okay, this time we're going to bring our hands straight behind. We're just going to try and come into that half lift position. Lift through the ribs and just hold in this position. Tuck the chin in, back of the neck long. Raise the arms up as much as you can, so we're working the muscles through the shoulder blades. Back of the neck long, spine is getting the length here. And then sink your bottom down. Come into chair pose. Okay, so you see my thighs are trying to get parallel, but push your weight back into your heels. And then try and get that length in your spine. Really strong pose. You can turn your feet out if it's more comfortable on your hips, which it is for me. The breath gets nice and strong. Holding it, as in hold the pose, not the breath. Hands down, fold. And then uncurl all the way up into standing. Inhale the arms up. Slight back bend if you enjoy it. And back, hands by your side. Step to the front of your mat. And we'll just go through a little flow sequence from here. So inhale, spread your hands wide, turn your palms to the front. Inhale the arms all the way up. Exhale, spread the hands again back down, fold forwards. Inhale halfway again, either hands here or on the ground. Exhale, fold, step the right foot forwards, knee lowers down or stays up to you. Inhale. Exhale, sink the pelvis. One more breath here. Exhale, hands come down by your side, step that left foot forwards to backwards even, and then you're going to bend through the knees, bend through the elbows, kiss the ground, and then come through, stretching up and back. Exhale, tuck the toes under, either push back to child's pose or straight up into downward dog. Step the left leg forwards this time. And then we're going to lower the right heel, turning your foot slightly inwards, okay? And you're trying to get that heel lined up with the right arch. You can turn your feet just to make your hips comfortable, whatever feels right for you. But ideally, the left foot is pointing forwards to the front of your mat, and the right foot is turned in like 11 a.m. sort of thing. Okay, so knees directly over, arms lifted. So 2 long lines from your fingertips. Press into the outer border of the right foot. Try and get that left knee over the heel. Turn to look over your middle finger of the left hand. Concentrate on the breath. Stretch the mat apart with your feet. Keep the ribs back. You're not banana button. Ribs back. Inhale, lean forwards. Exhale, elbow onto the knee. Stretch the right arm forwards. So again, you have a nice long line from your right fingertips to your right heel. Press into your right heel. Stretch the mat apart with your feet. And then turn to face that front leg. Right hand comes down. Roll onto the ball of the right foot. And then lift through the left hand. So we've got a really nice twist here. See, my right shoulder wants to lift up. Bring the right shoulder back down. Left ear lengthens away from the left shoulder. Press back through the right heel. Forwards through the left heel. Stretching the mat apart, making the legs work, making the spine twist. Lower the left hand down to the outside of the left foot. Step the left foot back. And then you're going to either come down through Chaturanga or knees bent. If you haven't done it before, just watch for Chaturanga. You need to be able to keep that back nice and straight, so no sagging as you go down. Okay, so you bend the elbows, the back stays straight all the way down onto the tummy. Tuck the feet back, arch and inhale up. Either push back to child's pose, tuck the toes under, lift back into downward dog. Couple of breaths here. And then I'm just going to switch sides. So you're going to step your right foot forwards this time. Okay, either knee stays down or up to you. And we're going to lift up all the way up into our lunge sort of position again. And then we're going to bring our elbows down by our side, lower that left heel. Walk the foot to the right heel intersects the left. Turning that foot in slightly. We've got our warrior pose on the opposite side. Turn to look over the middle finger. Fingers are spreading apart. Right knee is trying to get directly above that ankle. Try not to let it drift inwards. Okay, so it wants to come on to the inside of the big toe. Try and get it to line up with the second toe. Turn to look over that middle finger. Lower the right elbow onto the right thigh. Lean the left fingertips forward so you have a nice long line from the left fingertip to the left heel. Keep that deep bend in the right knee. Lower the left hand. Roll onto the ball of the left foot. Reach the right hand up. Lower the hand down, step the right foot back, and then you're either going to come knees down or Chaturanga again. So back stays straight, elbows bent by your side, lower all the way onto your tongue. Toes back, inhale up. Tuck the toes under, push back either through child's pose or straight into downward dog. And then walk the feet forwards. Grasp onto your elbows, fold forwards. Bend the knees as much as you need to allow the torso to rest on your thighs. Then uncurl all the way up. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Okay, so we're going to come into some balance poses, strengthening through the leg poses. So step the left foot back slightly, and I want you to think about your foot, okay? So I want you to really get the weight on that little toe side of the foot, okay? So you're not collapsing inwards. You've got weight through the little toe side of the foot, the ball of the foot, the heel, okay? Keep your weight in your heel as much as possible. Okay, so you're transferring your weight onto that right foot, okay? Hands are on your pelvis initially. Square off your pelvis, okay? So your pelvis is facing down towards the ground. Take your hands right back. Left toes are pointing towards the ground. And then if you can, bring your hands forward. Only do the steps that you can manage. Keep your head looking slightly down so the back of your neck is long. Lift that left foot up a little higher if you can. Let's hold for 5 breaths. Right fingertips down onto the mat. Twist through the pelvis and we're opening up through that pelvis. You might need to bend that knee, doesn't really matter. You can use block under your hands to keep your spine nice and long. You can see my left shoulder is above my right And then I'm going to lift that left hand to the ceiling. And I'll just step back and show it to you from here. So the right fingertips come down slightly forward of the right foot and right to the side. Lift through the left arm. Good. Turn to look up at your left fingertips if you can. Try and think about that right foot again, so weight on the little toe side of the right foot. Try and lift that left leg a little higher. Nice and strong. It would be better if I had a little block under my hand here. As you can see, I'm sloping through here, whereas a block would keep that spine nice and long. And lower down. Ooh. Fold forwards again. I'm going to get a book so I can show you what I mean. 2 books in fact. Put it on this side. Okay, so let's get ready and we're going to do the same thing again, but on the left foot this time. So the right foot steps slightly back, press you're into your heel, firm through your thigh, so you're making your leg nice and strong. Hand on the pelvis to start off. Lift that right foot. So you're getting your torso parallel with the ground. Once you find your balance here, take your hands away from your pelvis. Back of the neck long. Toes pointing towards the mat. Reach the hands forward. Three more breaths. And then left fingertips come down as you twist through the right, opening up through the right. I'm just going to use the bricks here. Oh, steady. Okay, and then lift. So you can see now I've got a nice long line through my torso. Lift that right leg up as high as you can. So both legs are straight. If that's available to you. If you don't have the hamstring length, bend away. And then try and turn the head up towards the fingertips. And then rotate the hand back down. Walk the right foot forward, fold forwards, shake out the legs. And then let's come all the way back down onto our tummies. So bend the knees or straight down through Chaturanga. We're going to come into that back bends that we did at the start. So fingertips are pointing towards your heels, palms towards your hips. Tuck the chin in nice and long and lift up. Okay, so 5 breaths here. So you're extending out of your spine rather than compressing into the lower back. So the action is through the whole spine rather than one area. Lower your head, left cheek to the floor. And then this time we're going to either lift up into the exact same pose again, or we're going to go for the ankles if that's available. So not everybody's going to be able to reach for the ankles, or it just might not feel comfortable on your spine. So just do what's most comfortable. Okay. So you're arching the back up, roll your shoulders back so you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Push your front of your ankles into your hands. Inhale, arch and look forwards. So you're trying to work it so that only your pelvis, pubic bone really, is on the mat. Lift the heels towards the ceiling. And then lower the hands down, press the hips back, child's pose. Okay, come on to your hands and knees. And we're just going to do a little bit of strength work again. Okay, so we're going to lift the knees. Your hips are over your knees and you're just going to lift through there. You're either going to hold that or you're going to give yourself an even bigger challenge and you're going to try and lift one hand. Right hand, left leg. If you're just keeping the hand and the foot down, that's fine. Just keep your breath steady. And then everybody lower down. Okay, so I'll show you that from the side. Okay, so you're either just going to hold this position, which is a workout in itself. Okay, or you're going to lift left hand, right leg. And lower down. Really nice, okay, and again. Give yourself a wee breath in between. Lift through the knees. That might be enough. Okay, otherwise you're lifting through the left leg, right hand. And lower down. And then let's go again. One last one. Knees lift, right foot, left hand. Good. Okay. Let's press back into child's pose. Get the breath back. Okay. One more strengthening core sort of one, and then we'll come down and make it a little bit easier. So you're either going to come here onto your wrist or hand, palm of your hand, or you're going to come onto your forearm. If you're a bit tired from being on the wrist through the whole class, forearm is completely fine. Either or. I like to be on my hand, so I'm going to go there. Okay, you're going to step the left foot forward, so we're going to build up into the hardest level here, but we're going to just start with whatever's right for you. Okay, so your left foot is stepped forward of your right thigh, and then you're just going to simply lift through your hips. Try and get that shoulder directly above the wrist or slightly behind, but not forwards. Okay, spread the fingers as much as possible, and you can even grip through the fingers to support your wrist if it's down. Otherwise you're on your forearm. Lift through that left arm. Okay, and then if it's available to you, you're going to lift the left foot on top of the right. Okay, so keep those hips lifted. Don't let the hips sag down. Keep the hips lifted. And then if it's available to you, you're going to lift that leg. And maybe even grab the left toes. Straight through that leg. And then lower down, come back into your plank position. Good, and then you're going to go on to the left hand this time and swap sides. So you can see me. What a lucky person. Okay, right foot forward, lower the hips. Let's walk through it the same way we did the last. Lift that right hand up to the ceiling. Lift the hips up to the ceiling. Either stay here, this might be enough. Step the foot back. Keep the hips lifted. You can turn your head, which makes it a bit more challenging. You're bringing in a little bit of balance work then. You can lift that top leg. You can grab the toes. And then come back down. Good, okay, let's lie onto our backs. And hug your knees into your chest. Just roll side to side. You can bring the knees away from your chest, then rotate them around, hug them back in. And then swap sides. Let's come into another back bend. Okay, so you're trying to get your heels toward your bum as much as you can. Okay, and then try and get your shoulders, slide them down your spine. Okay, and then you're going to lift the hips. And you're going to hold this position. Breathing into your belly, makes your belly look nice and big. And then walk your hands under your shoulders under your spine. So you're getting a bit more lift, interlacing your fingers, lifting through the hips. We're going to do 8 breaths here. I'm also going to give you lifting up into wheel. That might not be for most of you, but I'll demonstrate. So you're bringing your palms onto the mat, and then you can lift up onto your head. Keep your elbows tucked in, straighten through the arms and lift up. Let the head hang down. So same thing, we're just going to hold it for another few breaths, or you're just keeping that 8 breaths lifted and bridge. Bend the elbows, rest the head down, lower back down. And then hug the knees into the chest again. Okay, so we need to twist out through the spine after that. So we're going to straighten that left leg down. Right knee stays tucked into the chest. Take the right knee in your left hand. You're going to twist over to the left. But keep your right shoulder blade down on the mat. I'll demonstrate this way. Probably easier. Okay. Nice. So keep that right shoulder blade down. So you feel like you're wringing through your spine. Like you've got a cloth, you wring it, it feels like that, like a twisting momentum into the spine. And then let's swap sides. So left shoulder blade staying down. Left knees across the body. Turning to look at your left palm with your head. Really melt that left shoulder blade into the mat. Then come back to center, hug the knees into the chest, curl up into the ball. Okay, so you're curling up into a nice little ball here, and you're going to extend out to the left leg, and then you're going to swap. And we're just going to do that a few times. Keeping the chin and head lifted only if it's comfortable in your neck. Otherwise, you can allow the head to rest down. And then lower the head down. And we're going to just stretch out the hamstrings here. So you're keeping the right, actually we'll do the other side. So we'll keep the left leg down and you're going to lift the right knee into your chest. Keep your left hand on your left pelvis. So you're trying to keep that pelvis grounded down into the mat basically. And then you're going to straighten through your back of your leg, okay? Only as far as it's comfortable. So you might be holding on to the back of your leg, you might be holding on to the back of your calf or your big toe. But basically you're drawn gently now, your toes towards your head, nice and gently. So if you tighten up too much, everything will contract and become harder. We'll try and just do nice and gentle here, okay? So what you can do though is add in some foot movement. Okay, so adding in the foot movement, bit of more of a stretch here, and then you ease off. And again, just within the boundaries of what feels comfortable. You can draw circles. And then you're going to take either your big toe inside of your calf, inside of your groin, and you're going to allow that leg to come out to the side, but the left hand is keeping that pelvis down. Okay, so you go open out to the side as far as is comfortable for you. So you're getting a release through your right groin here. And then you can swap hands, bring the left hand to the outside of the right calf and twist again. So straight leg twist this time. So keep that right shoulder blade down, left leg straight, turn the right, or turn to look at your right hand. And then come back to center, hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little roll around. And we'll do the same on the left. Okay, so straighten that right leg down. Right hand on the pelvis or holding on to the thighs, calf, foot, ankle. Doesn't really matter, wherever's comfortable for you. So you're drawing your toes towards your head and then you're going to add in some movement of the foot. Really nice. Some circles and the opposite way. And then take your right hand to your right pelvis, left hand to the inside of wherever feels comfortable that you can keep that left leg straight. And then open out through that groin. Don't allow the right hip to lift. Swap hands, right hand to the outside, and then you bring it in into a twist. Get the couch out of the way. Keep connected with the breath. I think I forgot about it. And then back to center. Allow your legs to relax down onto the mat. Hands down onto the mat. Palms facing up towards the ceiling or in towards your thigh. Close off the eyes and you're just going to focus here in Shavasana for a couple of minutes. So again, keep your focus on your breathing. So don't try and control your breathing, just bring your awareness to wherever you feel your breath. Whenever your mind wanders, which it will, just bring it back to the breath. So you can stay for another few minutes. You can stay for 20 minutes if you want in Shavasana. Otherwise, roll onto your side. Take a breath here. Lift up into sitting. And just take 1 or 2 breaths here. Well done. Happy yoga. Happy lockdown. Mwah.